Some sightings are easy to dismiss until the same details keep appearing. A silent figure in the trees, an 8-foot shape in the Oregon wilderness, and footprints too large for any normal person. Are these just mistakes in the dark, or is something still moving through the forests? This clip was first shared on Instagram by a page named Chilling Archives, a fitting name since they focus on disturbing forgotten footage from different parts of the world. But the video they uploaded on May 16th goes beyond disturbing, it stays with you. It begins normally enough, a family having a quiet picnic in what looks like a peaceful park. The father is filming his wife and young daughter recording what should have been a simple happy moment. Then everything shifts. Without warning, the little girl freezes. She slowly stands up, her eyes locked on something behind her father. Fear spreads across her face. As he begins turning the camera toward whatever caught her attention, the device slips from his hands. It hits the ground, still recording the lens now pointed upward at the sky. For several seconds, nothing happens. The silence feels heavy, eerie, almost as if the person holding the camera has disappeared. Then, just before the video ends, something moves into frame. A large black fur-covered creature, snarling like a wild animal, stomps past the lens. And that is where the footage cuts off. This is where it becomes even stranger. It looks real, but the clip could be AI generated. With today's technology, even the most convincing and terrifying videos can be created from a single text prompt. Yet one comment stood out. A user named Interstellar Dancer insisted the video was genuine, that the creature was a bear. And this was the final known footage of that family. According to them, neither the mother nor the daughter survived. They also claimed the video is around 15 years old and only recently resurfaced. Attempts to verify the story news articles reports anything lead nowhere. But then again, maybe that is exactly the point. A nursery teacher once posted a sweet picture of a child playing pretend grocery store, but what the child's mother spotted in the background made her rush to pick up her son. At first, the photos looked completely innocent. Several toddlers having fun, one acting as the cashier, while the others push small carts and choose plastic food. It is the kind of simple, heartwarming moment you would expect in any preschool. But look a little closer, and it's clear why the image disturbed so many people. Just behind the little cashier, tucked near the side of the play shelves, stands something that should not be there. A tall, shadow-like figure, completely still. It looks almost like a soldier in a ghillie suit, or something stranger. It is difficult to tell what it is doing, but it seems to be touching the shelf, almost as if it is shopping too. The teacher insists no one else was in the room when the picture was taken. She says this figure was not there. The child's mother did not stay asking questions when she noticed the image. She hurried to the nursery and took her son home. And honestly, who could blame her? Because the longer you study it, the less it makes sense. Long limbs, a strange greenish color, tangled hair, or moss-like textures, and an unnatural outline that does not belong in a classroom. It resembles some kind of forest entity calmly browsing the shelves of a preschool. No one has a solid explanation, and the more you try to explain it away, the stranger it becomes. So now the question is yours. What is this thing? While fake horror clips are usually easy to brush aside with a sigh of relief, this one feels different. Even though it is completely fictional, the chilling video presenting what is claimed to be a Skip 96 containment chamber is enough to haunt your dreams. The unsettling footage uploaded to YouTube shows what appears to be a bleak SCP-96 cell, sparsely furnished with only a simple bed and ominous red stains smeared across the floor. Then, the chaos begins. A distorted figure crouches behind the bed, shoving it aside before collapsing onto the ground in a disturbing frenzy of erratic movements. Yes, it is all CGI, but that almost makes it worse because the idea of a mind capable of imagining and crafting something so unnerving is disturbing on its own. Even knowing it is not real, you cannot help but hope that whatever nightmare this video brings to life stays locked behind that chamber door forever. Solo camping often promises peace, freedom, and a connection with nature until night falls, and something comes out of the darkness that makes you swear off the wilderness forever. This bone-chilling clip, first shared on Instagram, captures the raw fear of a lone camper's night deep in the woods. It begins harmlessly enough, with the camper filming himself as he fills a bottle with water from an old well. But then something catches his attention. Something that instantly drains the color from his face. Panicked, he turns his camera toward the trees, revealing the source of his fear, a tall black figure standing completely still, staring straight at him. Its face is pale and ghost white, a haunting contrast against its jet black body, as if the darkness itself had taken physical form. This is not an animal, and it certainly is not human. The camper's terrified scream breaks the silence as he tries to keep the figure in frame before running for his life. The way the entity just stands there, unmoving, unblinking gaze fixed, feels like something pulled straight from a nightmare. One thing is certain, after watching this footage, camping alone might not sound so appealing. Because out there in the darkness, who can say a shadow like this is not watching you? A mom took her daughter to McDonald's for what was meant to be a simple happy outing, but what she later found in the photos is the kind of thing that stays with you forever. The story was shared on Reddit's weird community by a user named creepy_facts9. According to the post, the day was completely ordinary Happy Meals laughter and a few cute pictures of her daughter playing on the slide. But later that night, while scrolling through the photos, the mother noticed something deeply unsettling. Through the transparent side of the slide, there was a face, but not a normal one. It had a chilling, almost demonic grin, and it seemed to be peering in from the outside, watching her child. The strange part, no one else was there when the photo was taken, and she had not seen anything unusual in person, but the picture told a different story, and then things became even more disturbing. When the mother asked her daughter if she knew what it was, the little girl casually replied that it was Beto, her imaginary friend. The mother has been terrified ever since. Online commenters were divided. Some believe it is just a viral fake meant to get attention, while others admitted the girl's calm reaction gave them chills. One user summed it up perfectly, saying that if their little brother ever said his imaginary friend was named Beto, they would pack their bags and move out immediately. In the middle of the night, when shadows shift and secrets stir, a security camera in La Union kept watching and ended up recording something truly chilling inside a home's garage. The footage captured by a standard home security system shows an encounter that is not easy to explain. At first glance, it looks like a humanoid figure, but look closer and you realize it is anything but human. The figure is disturbingly thin, with its back hunched, in a way that sends a chill down your spine. And the way it moves, unnaturally fast, darting across the frame with a speed that seems almost impossible. The camera catches only a brief glimpse as the thing slips silently through the garage. And even if by some stretch it was a person, the bigger question remains, what would anyone be doing creeping around a private garage at that hour? No matter how you try to explain it, the whole situation is deeply unsettling. The kind of footage that makes you want to check your own security cameras before going to bed. Have you ever accidentally captured something on camera that you immediately wished you had never seen? Well, this video is exactly that. The video was uploaded to Instagram and has left the entire community completely confused. It was filmed in a remote, unidentified location where a worker is seen casually cleaning an area while dozens of vultures surround him. But once you understand why they are there, that is when it becomes truly terrifying. As the video continues, the man who seemed to be simply tidying up suddenly lifts a skeleton from the ground and begins breaking it apart. At first, it looks like it could be animal bones. Vultures are scavengers after all. But then comes the chilling realization it is not an animal. It is a human skeleton. The worker calmly picks up the skeleton and starts breaking it down like it is just another day at work, while the vultures linger around him almost like they are waiting for him to serve up something. But the horrifying question is what and from where? Everything about this looks wrong. The vultures, the skeleton, the eerie setting, and worse, the identity of the location and the person filming remains unknown. It seems like the cameraman was hiding, possibly recording from a safe distance, which only makes this whole shady scene feel disturbingly real. But honestly, I cannot stop wondering what would have happened if that worker had spotted the camera. Next, we have a discovery that could challenge what you believe about everything you thought you knew about history. In a find that blurs the line between ancient myth and recorded history, researchers uncovered a 4,000-year-old clay tablet from Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq, that tells a hauntingly familiar story. What makes this artifact stand out is not only its age or preservation, but the stunning detail inside it. It contains instructions for building a massive circular boat designed to survive a divine flood, with animals entering 2 by 2. The images show ancient Sumerian tablets, held by Irving Finkel alongside an artistic rendering of a round ark fighting a stormy sea. This discovery is spine-chilling in the best way. Holding that small cracked tablet is like holding a forgotten version of our shared past, one that predates the Bible, yet whispers the same warnings. Whether you see it as mythology, parallel storytelling, or ancient truth twisted by time, it is hard not to feel a deep sense of wonder. It makes you ask, were the ancients trying to tell us something all along, and we simply were not listening? On April 9th, 2026, a man on a large boat noticed something unusual in the nearby trees. He zoomed in and started recording. He later captioned the video as a Bigfoot sighting in southern Ontario. When the footage is paused, a tall, thin silhouette can be seen standing completely still among the trees. It barely moves, seeming to hold its position as if trying to stay hidden and blend into the surroundings. The figure is noticeably lighter in color than most reported sightings. Bigfoot reports from Ontario, where the creature is more often called Sasquatch, usually follow a recognizable pattern. Witnesses typically describe something between 7 and 10 feet tall, with broad shoulders, a heavy build, and long arms hanging lower than a human's, sometimes close to the knee. Most accounts describe dark brown or black hair, though some reports include reddish or gray tones similar to what appears in this footage. A still figure, lighter coloring, and footage captured from a boat with no chance to investigate further. This one leaves plenty of room for interpretation. What do you think was standing in those trees? A group of hikers found an unusual structure deep inside a remote forest. It looked deliberately built from branches and logs. Around it, there were signs of recent activity, including what the hikers described as a fresh kill near the entrance. The discovery immediately raised questions. Structures like this have appeared before in connection with Bigfoot accounts, usually reported in isolated wilderness areas far from roads or trails. Others suggested a more human explanation, hunting activity, or some kind of ritual use. Something constructed that deliberately that far from civilization, with fresh remains nearby. Whatever made it had not been gone long. What do you think put that structure together? A photographer near Mount St. Helens reported coming across a massive creature resting in plain sight at an abandoned logging site, and claimed to have captured it on camera. What stood out was its behavior. Unlike most sightings where the subject is moving or running away, this one appeared completely calm. Some researchers who reviewed the image suggested it may show a female. Opinions were divided. Some viewed it as strong evidence. Others argued that one photo is never enough. What happened after the encounter was never shared. A resting figure photographed in the open with no follow-up, that silence says something too. What do you think was sitting at that logging site? A family driving through a thick forest looking for wildlife had not seen much when one of them noticed movement in the trees ahead. The others looked over and saw it as well. A large dark figure moved quietly through the undergrowth. Its size and posture matched descriptions often linked to Bigfoot. The family also noted that no other animals were present in the area. Something that size moving quietly with nothing else around. What do you think they saw out there? A hiker exploring a forest suddenly heard heavy footsteps coming from the nearby trees. He grabbed his camera and began recording. In the distance, a tall, dark figure moved casually through the forest on 2 legs. The footage showed the movement clearly enough to rule out ordinary wildlife, but the overall quality made it difficult to reach any firm conclusion. Poor footage, heavy footsteps, and a figure that did not move like anything familiar. Close enough to raise questions, not close enough to answer them. What do you think he was looking at? A man named Jared was searching for a fishing spot along Union Creek in the Rogue River-Siskiyou National Forest. when he noticed something moving between the trees. He grabbed his camera and managed to take a photo. According to Jared, what he saw was a large upright creature, roughly 8 feet tall, moving through the thick forest. The location adds context. The Rogue River-Siskiyou National Forest stretches through the mountains of southwestern Oregon near the California border. The terrain is steep, the river valleys are deep, and large sections of wilderness remain difficult to reach. Reports from the area go back decades. Hikers, hunters, and campers have described unusual footprints, night sounds, and brief sightings of tall, hair-covered figures moving through the trees. Jared's account fits a pattern that has been growing in that region for years. A place with that kind of history, an 8-foot figure, and a photo captured in the moment. The setting alone makes this one harder to dismiss. What do you think Jared actually saw moving through those trees? An Instagram user shared a photo reportedly captured in Russia showing something unusual near a highway outside Moscow. According to the account, the image was taken shortly after a large creature crossed the road, an incident that allegedly caused a traffic accident. In the photo, a brown-haired figure can be seen between the trees. In Russian folklore, a creature matching this description is often called the almas, a primitive human-like being covered in sparse hair with darker weathered skin. Some viewers believe the image might be evidence of that legend. Others thought a misidentified animal was the more likely explanation. A human crossing a highway in that context seemed least plausible to many who responded. A traffic accident, a figure in the trees, and a legend that fits the description. What do you think was crossing that road? During a fishing trip in Huber Heights, Ohio, a man noticed something moving far away and started recording.
It's a Bigfoot. What the fuck was he picking up? Hey, we really might be catching a Bigfoot on video. What the fuck?
A humanoid figure seemed to be walking through the forest. The man later said there was no trail leading into that area, raising the question of who or what could have been out there. Some viewers suggested it might be a juvenile Bigfoot, smaller than the large figures usually described in reports. Others thought a person or animal distorted by distance and camera angle was the simpler explanation. Ohio has built up a notable number of sightings over the years, making it a region that appears regularly in these discussions. A figure with no trail, possible juvenile size, and a location with a long history of reports. Each detail adds another layer here. What do you think was moving through those trees today? A woman named Stephanie shared photos on her TikTok account after noticing something unusual in the snow at her parents' home in southern Ohio. She had followed a line of footprints across the ground. The distance between each step was hard to ignore. The strides were estimated at 7 to 8 feet apart, far beyond what a person could manage with a normal walking gait. The prints themselves looked human-like, with visible toe impressions. Each one was estimated between 18 and 23 inches long. Bear tracks were considered and ruled out. The shape did not match. These looked like a foot, only an extremely large one. The stride length alone makes this difficult to explain with anything familiar. What do you think was walking through that snow? A man driving along a remote wooded road noticed something that made him stop. At first he thought it was a bear, but as he got closer it did not match anything familiar. He took a photo and kept driving. The figure vanished into the woods. He considered whether someone might be trying to scare passing drivers, but something about it felt wrong. Not a bear, not quite a person. What do you think he photographed that day? YouTuber Justin went out to explore the abandoned remains of Elk Mountain ghost town, hidden deep in the woods. The cold was biting, and the area was completely silent.
Okay, hello guys. So, we are here at Elkmont. We haven't been in... Fuck, why is the light going off? We are going in the first house. Oh, Justin's here. He's cold. So, let's go.
The group stepped into the first rotting cabin. The lights failed almost immediately. The cold walls and darkness made the room feel smaller than it really was.
Yeah. But, so they started, like, restoring these houses here. But, like, look at the different, I don't know, just how they built, like, look at the art.
Justin noticed that fresh wood had been added over the original boards in certain places. Someone had been working on the buildings. He made a brief comment about black bears possibly being on the other side of the walls. Nobody kept laughing for long.
There could be a black bear on the other side of it, yeah. There is something about that.
Yeah, I didn't take into account about, like, wildlife and stuff. Oh, jeez! Fuck!
Sorry, Queen.
I thought you were over here.
You don't see my light.
No, I have 2 lights pointed at my face right now.
In the second cabin, the equipment failed again. The empty rooms felt dark in a way that was hard to ignore. Every corner looked like something could be crouching inside it.
There ain't no lights. Because it is cold. Now she fucking works. Okay. Maybe she's just cold. I'm cold.
They moved into the third cabin, the one farthest from the rest. The floor shifted and creaked under them. They were looking over the construction when it happened.
Okay, so we're walking into cabin number 3. As you can see, she's fucking spooky. Also, I found out why my flashlight wasn't working. I needed new batteries. Nope, that's allowed. I can't come in, I'm a bitch. Look at the architecture.
A loud, heavy noise came from somewhere inside the house. It didn't sound like an animal. Justin froze. They ran.
Okay, go. No, I'm just... Go.
They pushed through the darkness and left the property as fast as they could. Justin looked back at the cabin once. Something was there.
What the f***? Run! Go, 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 go! Where the fuck did it go?
Some viewers may connect a heavy unseen presence in the woods to Bigfoot legends, but here the sound seemed to come from inside the structure itself. Whatever made that sound inside the third cabin left no clear trace and no easy answer. What do you think was waiting for them in that house? A video uploaded by the YouTube channel Exploring with Angelo on September 11th, 2023 followed creator Angelo and his companion Mal Sargi as they used the Randonautica app to explore Harper's Ferry. The town carries centuries of history, but what they encountered felt much closer to the present.
Welcome back to a brand new Randonautica adventure, starting out here in a very cool historic town called Harper's Ferry. It's been here for a very long time. From what I read, was the oldest standing building, so there was probably some stuff here before then.
Problems began early. A man at the old train station kept appearing wherever they went. He would show up in the same area, stop, and just stand there. It happened again and again.
Now we were at like the train station, and I don't know, there was this one guy. He would just like we would go into one spot and he would kind of like come in that area too, and then just kind of like stop, and it was almost as if he was like kind of watching us in a way. I don't know.
Farther in, they found an umbrella and several scattered notes inside a forgotten waterway. One piece of paper had a handwritten message on it. It told them to leave now.
This is a random American umbrella. I wonder if it still works.
Okay.
Oh. What the hell? Okay. Oh, it kind of works. Disabled veterans, their courage endures. Well, salute to the vets. But what is this? A bunch of random pieces of paper in here. Just the right mix of chaos and love is degrees. The hell? There is a problem we cannot ignore. Confront, plot against, drown in chocolate sauce, or run over with the car. What the hell does that say? Leave now?
Mal stopped to grab his flashlight when a screech cut through the valley. It didn't sound like any animal. After it ended, the woods became completely silent.
Okay, what in the actual hell was that? So I was stopping for a second so I can grab my flashlight, and I heard this screech. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't an animal.
Near an old church, they noticed a skeleton key beside a broken cross. A person moved through the nearby ruins and disappeared before the camera could get a clear view.
Oh, there's a bunch more stuff in here. What the dude, check this out. There's like a skeleton key.
What the hell?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Where'd that person go? What if it was theirs?
He kept
I mean, we just caught like a glimpse of them, right? What the hell is this? And that's pretty much it. Oh, wait, there's something else in here. Damn it. Okay, what is all this stuff? Yeah, it looks like a button. Literally, it's like a pin button thingy. Altar server. In appreciation of service to the Lord, presented to Ope.
At the top of the ridge, Mal was convinced he saw a figure looking out from behind Jefferson Rock. He walked toward it. Nobody was there.
Well, there's the rock. I don't know, you see anybody? It is weird. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay, those are just birds. Yeah, dude, there ain't nobody here. No. There's no one here, dude. That was weird. I'm like 155,000% positive I saw someone and they just disappeared.
The night ended outside Savannah's Bonaventure Cemetery. The gates were locked, but music could be heard somewhere in the darkness beyond them.
But yeah, that's the cemetery. We'll try and come back tomorrow. If we have time during the day, we can get here early enough. Maybe what we can do is run another point while we're actually in the cemetery. Maybe I'll run a point, maybe you'll run your own point and see what comes up, right? Now it sounds like it's down there.
Each location gave them something they could not explain then, took it away before they could look closer. What do you think was leaving those notes behind? That's it for tonight. Which moment creep? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story, share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.